But what will America do about guns? Joining me now is Senator Dianne Feinstein. She's introducing an assault weapons ban when Congress reconvenes in January. Senator, it's almost too much to bear, isn't it, listening to these poor families?
It's very hard. I don't know what I would do if it were my daughter. This is so bad. It is so horrific. You know, at one point you feel this terrible grief, and then you feel this anger that this could happen in our country, where children should be at least safe in a school. Anyway, yes, I'm going to do an assault weapons piece of legislation, and it's going to be strong, and it's going to be definitive, and it's going to ban by name at least 100 military-style semi-automatic assault weapons, and it's going to ban big clips, drums, or strips of more than 10 bullets. And it's this particular category of weapon, which the Bushmaster is. It's a killer weapon. You can fire it very quickly. It has very little recoil, very little kick, and it's very high velocity. And it doesn't belong on the streets of our city, and it doesn't belong in a place where a 20-year-old, like this particular 20-year-old, could get a hold of it and go in and do what he did. And this makes me very angry.
What do you say to those who say, I have my Second Amendment rights, I'm entitled to bear arms. You are not entitled to take away that right by removing these kind of weapons from the streets and from the stores?
There's no Second Amendment right to bear every type of weapon that you know of. These are a certain class of weapons. They are designed to kill large numbers of people in close combat. I don't believe the Second Amendment covers them. The Second Amendment was written a long time before this class of weapons was founded, merchandised, and spread all over our country, where they fall into the hands of juveniles, grievance killers, people who go into our malls, our theaters, our stores, our businesses, and now our schools, and just kill people for no good reason. It's got to stop.
Tell me about the reaction that you've had already from other politicians. We've been trying to get any gun-supporting politician on the show, and like most shows on American television right now, they don't want to come on. They're hiding away, as are members of the NRA and all the usual suspects when these terrible things happen. But are you detecting, Senator, that there is a change in mood, that this may be, as some are hoping, a tipping point for the American public opinion?
Yes, I hope so, Piers. I had to do a brief segment on Meet the Press yesterday morning, and afterwards I probably got 20 phone calls at home here in Washington, very unusual, of people from Washington and California calling and saying, we want to help with this. It's got to stop. I even had one man who was a member of the NRA who said, I have an AR-15 and I'm going to get rid of it. I'm a hunter and I want you to do something about these assault weapons. So I'm going to do my level best to try. I did it once before. In 1993, we sat down and we wrote a bill, and that bill passed the Senate. Chuck Schumer introduced it in the House. It passed. It was not amended, it was passed, and it went to the president. President Clinton signed it, and it was the law for 10 years. And over time, it began to wind down the supply of these weapons, and particularly the clips, drums, or strips of over 100 bullets. I mean, you have to realize, the person that went into that theater in Aurora had a drum with 100 bullets in his assault weapon. Fortunately, that drum jammed, or else he would have had 100 clear shots at people sitting in seats in a movie theater. Now here, you probably had this man fire more than 100 bullets. I mean, we've just heard where no child had less than 3 bullets in them of what is a killer weapon. That shouldn't be on the streets of our city. And now these children, this is the straw that breaks the camel's back. People have to respond. They have to understand that the rights of the many to remain safe are more important than any right you may think you have to have a military-style assault weapon.
Senator Feinstein, I applaud what you're doing, and I wish you every success with it. Thank you for joining me.
Thank you, Piers. Appreciate it.